friends, welcome to my channel. I am Sunique. Welcome here if you're new. If you've been here before, I am so grateful for your support. Thank you so much. So here I've got Woman in Total Control of Herself Oracle by Angie Sullins and their partner Silas Tobel. And I really like this deck because I find it very empowering and bringing us back to ourselves really. And this is quite relevant for me at the moment because I'm doing a three-week intensive course with tarot vampires, all about reclaiming our dark feminine. And this goes along really well with it, although I haven't been using with it. This would be a perfect companion, I think. So talking about perfect companions, lo and behold, there's a tarot deck that goes alongside. Let me just get this annoying plastic off. I've got some spot gloss here, look at this. Oh, shiny. So we're being offered up pomegranate here. So this is the tarot deck that accompanies the oracle deck. So they've done it the other way around, done the oracle deck first. This is the little bag that comes in the oracle deck. I don't know if we get one in the tarot, we'll have a look. So yeah, it's still Angie Sullins and Silas Tobel. US Games, both US Games. And this box on the oracle deck is one of my favourites. It's the magnetic one. I really like it. Gorgeous. And as I say, I do really like this deck because they've repurposed a lot of classic art. I mean, you can see here, this is classical art. I'll just show you a few. But I have done a full walkthrough of this deck. And I'll link that video below. This is very shiny cardstock. Really nice. This spider one. Yeah, I really do like this artwork. So, what do we have in the tarot deck? Let's have a look. Put that to one side. Okay, so it's a lift-off 2-part box. Gorgeous, gorgeous artwork. Again, these shiny bits. I think it's called spot gloss, I'm not sure. It looks to be the same sort of art style, which you would expect it being the same artist. It says, what does it take to become a woman in total control of herself? W.I.T.C.H. A decision to become the mistress of your own power and commitment to reclaiming agency over your life. W.I.T.C.H. Tarot was created to help you find the path towards your sovereignty and companion you on the journey of maintaining your authenticity, your practical magic. Find inspiration in the 78 lushly composed collage-style tarot cards and discover guidance in the empowering musings, poetry and card meanings. The lavishly illustrated guidebook also presents 3 custom card spreads, including 78 gold gilt-edged tarot cards, a 208-page full-colour guidebook and organza drawstring pouch, so you do still get one of those drawstring pouches. Okay. One of the things I really like as well about the oracle deck is the different age ranges. We do have a lot of older presenting females. Oh, look. Oh, is that not just gorgeous? Oh, that is amazing. This artwork is really nice, in my opinion. So this time we have a sort of lemon coloured organza bag, as opposed to the green one we had in the oracle deck. I'm sorry, there's a lot of noise going outside. Mostly it's seagulls, as usual, seagulls. So we've got the red ribbon. Take the book out. And the cards. Oh, in plastic. Yeah, they're in plastic. Oh, look, the inside of this box is amazing. I'm going to take the plastic off. The card. Sorry, my words aren't coming out very well at the moment. Shall I tell you why? I've just partaken of a lavender scone. I went to the lavender fields here in Cornwall the other day. And yes, how can you resist lavender scones and lavender biscuits? I mean, I can't, obviously. I've just eaten one and it's just it's very crumbly and yeah. Anyway, enough of that. There's the form. Ooh. Oh, this looks like Eve and the snake. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. So 2026, table of contents, woman in total control of herself. What keeps a good W.I.T.C.H down? Enter sovereignty. Why is the W.I.T.C.H important in the world? Defense against the dark arts, which is actually the dark arts is very well explained in the Oracle deck as well. Casting the circle and masking a myth. Then we're into the cards. So majors, no name changes, no. Minor, so we have wands, swords, cups and pentacles. So yeah, no new naming. And we have home, a cross tarot spread, a 3-card spread, 3-card spread, so more than one, about the artist, about the author, and need more support. So more information for that. See, she's no one's pawn. Don't confuse her softness for surrender. She's writing her own myth. So yeah. And how we've been controlled throughout the ages is a common theme throughout the deck. There we go. She would rather die listening to her own soul than live in bondage to a system demanding her mediocrity and compliance. So yeah, it's repeated here about defense, about the dark arts, about what the dark arts actually are. So yes, there's dark forces moving in our world, and that can be very dangerous to us. But very few understand the dark arts moving across our inner landscape in the form of thoughts, feelings and belief systems, and where that internal threat has come from. Very interesting. Yeah. Also here we have probably scattered throughout, yeah, I would imagine so, because it's the same as the Oracle, and actually in all of Angie's other decks as well, they do this, is they scatter poetry throughout. Isn't this gorgeous? Then to the major arcana. Wow. So what do we get? We get pretty much a page and a little bit. So an explanation of the archetype. Yeah, Eve, like Eve tempted to eat the fruit of divine knowing. Keywords, and then in bold type, the main message of the card. The minor arcana, yeah, we get the same. We get the same. So for each as well, we're going to get an introduction to each suit. And they look to be colour coded as well. And at the back, we get a poem. There's the Witch's Cross Tarot spread. The 3-card, we've got the Cage, the Fire, the Rising, Past, Present, Future, and then about the artist. Exactly the same as in the Oracle, it's the same pictures. A visionary artist, composer of orchestral music, 30-plus career, encompasses everything from book illustrations to fine art, as well as pioneering the fields of immersive technology to explore how art and music create a spiritual alchemical experience. Okay. So there's music you can access, poetry books that Angie has written, and then the Patreon page. Okay. I dare you, while there is still time, to become mistress of your own power. This is a quote from Angie. That is a nice guidebook. Let's have a look at the cards. So we have got that gold gilt edging, like it said. These are the backs. We have a compass and the triple moon. And yes, these pomegranates. So when I look at the back of this, I do see a development really, because we have the pomegranates, we have these lovely red and green leaves, but then in the centre here we've got these like brown oak leaves, almost like the seasons are turning. And then we've got like this snake coiled around, and of course time is indicated by the different aspects of the moon cycle. So yeah, this is Eve. Was she foolish to actually try to access forbidden knowledge? Here she jumps straight in. That's beautiful. Yeah, this artwork is going to be absolutely gorgeous, just like the other deck. There's the Magician with Wisteria, and we have got the minor arcana suits represented here. We've got the sword, there's the pentacle, there's the cup, and there's the wand. Now these cards, and it is a little complaint of the Oracle deck as well, are very dark in real life. So I don't know what the camera will pick up, but to be aware that a lot of this artwork, if it's anything like the Oracle, will be quite dark in tone. So, this High Priestess. So enigmatic. The Empress. Holding the harvest like a baby. Wow. The Emperor. The Hierophant. Full of knowledge and acquiring more. Here's the Lovers. So we have got some myths here. The Minotaur. Chariot. On the wings of a bat. Strength. This time we have a dragon. Oh, this Hermit. So if this is your type of art style, you're going to absolutely adore this deck. Here's the Wheel. Justice. Black and White Cat. The Hanged One is a mermaid. Again, these are glossy cards. You can probably tell. I do like glossy cards, although they're not camera friendly. In person, I really love them. Amazing Death card. Temperance. Devil. Look. Can you see there? Wow. The Tower is a burning tree, so it's the blasted tower. The tree house. Oh, I love this star. There's not one card yet that hasn't captivated me. The Moon. And the Sun. Judgment. Not yet sounded the horn though. And there's the World card, which we saw in the book. Oh, some very strong imagery, isn't there? Okay, so we're going to start with the one suit here. Here's the Ace. 2. Three. We have an archetypal image of a witch there for the 3, with the black cat, actually on a broom. Oh, Baba Yaga's tree house, or chicken with the chicken feet. The 4. There's a 5. Oh. A little disagreement there. Differences of opinion, maybe. Coming all together. 7. Wow, that's quite strong energy, isn't it? 8. Oh, I know this image. That's the flying carpet one. They've reused an image from the Oracle deck. Let me find it. 8 of Wands. I wonder why they've done that then. Yeah, Maiden Journey. Why have they done that? I'll have a look at those in the guidebook together and see if they align with each of them. That's, well, okay. 9. And a 10, a basket full of owls. A unicorn for the Page of Wands. That's the Knight in armour. With a oh wow, look at that skull. It's like a blazing skull that's allowing it to see through the eye holes, the orbital sockets. Wow. Oh, look at that. Wow. I think that's got to be my favourite ever Queen of Wands. Gosh. And the King. Got the Phoenix rising there. Swords, we have the Ace. The 2. Okay, so we've still got 3 swords and a heart, but they're actually not going through the heart. They're being held almost in a defensive position against the heart. That's really interesting. It does feel defensive, that. A bit of a Joan of Arc here for the 4. And then the 5. Is that the Valkyrie? I presume so. There's the 6, so we're in a boat. Oh, it's a swan. How pretty. So it reminds me of Avalon. Oh, got Harpy for the 7 of Swords. We do have Harpies in the Oracle, but there's a group of them. This isn't. Actually stealing an egg out of these birds' nest. There's an 8. Oh, this spider web here. Tangled, entangled thoughts. 9. Oh, even the gargoyle looks sad. No sleep, hey? There's a 10. Oh. Pages. On top of the books. Represented by a black bird. Is that a raven or a crow? We've got a dragon alongside the knight. Queen of Swords. And King, and I recognise that as the Divine Masculine card in the Oracle deck. Oh, why have they reused artwork? Yeah, there it is. Right, I'm going to put those 2 to one side. We're doing things a little bit differently this time. I'm going to look at the cards that are repeated because I've found 2 so far. Anyway, Ace of Cups. There's a 2. Nice. 3. 4. I know that image. That's Pan, isn't it? But I've seen that image in other decks. I can't think which decks at the moment. There's the 5. You've got a Japanese garden not too far from here. And I've got all these koi carp in there. It's an absolutely beautiful place. 6 of Cups. Nice. 7. I thought they'd have chosen that for the star card. It'd been ideal for the star card, wouldn't it? What did we have? Oh yeah, that. I think I would have preferred that one actually as a star. Ace of Cups. Interesting image. That's a repeat. I think it's called Pleasure. Let me find that. That'll be the third card that's been, there it is, yeah. The third card that's been repurposed. Ten of Cups. The Sulky as well. They've used the Sulky before. Oh gosh. That is a different image. You can see that. They are very, very shiny. But yeah, they've used that motif before. Oh gosh. And that one. Oh Lord. What's going on there? Okay, it is different, but it is very, very similar, don't you think? I'm a little bit disappointed, I won't lie. I don't understand why they're using the same cards. It doesn't. Why have they done that? Ace of Pentacles. 2, beautiful. 3 black cats for the Pentacles. Of course, a dragon hoarding their coins for the 4. Makes sense. There's the 5. That's nice. 6. Give and receive, huh? 7. 8. 9. 10. Welcoming her little dragons. Oh. Page. Again, a mask. Like we saw in the star, the moon and the sun. This is a cat mask for the Page of Pentacles. Oh, we've got another mask here on the Knight. Like sunflowers. That's the Queen of Pentacles from the front of the book and the box. Oh wow, look at that king. He's a foxy man. That is amazing. Okay, I like this deck. I'm just a little bit disappointed. More than a little bit disappointed. I don't see why the repeats. That's, yeah. Anyway, so with the maiden journey, that so reflective. That's all about a leap of faith, basically. And if we're going on a journey, not to overthink it, really. In fact, instead of trying to explain it, I will read the guidebook. So that's number 8. Because the entries aren't very long, so you're fine. Be forever here. Okay, maiden journey. This is a journeying moment. Whether you're on a spiritual quest, journeying into a new venture or relationship, or actually planning a trip, this moment encourages you to take stock of where you've been and where you're going. Often in the middle of a journey, we lose sight of the bigger picture, easily caught up in the details, as that flying carpet will tell you. This is a time to soar up higher to get a broader perspective. What is the purpose of your current journey? Where did you start and what is the shape of its conclusion? Let your heart move up into the clouds to get a bat's eye view of the course you are charting. A witch knows that preparation is an important part of the journey, so if you're starting out, take care to gift yourself with the supplies and support you will need. But a witch also knows that no matter how much she prepares, she will encounter twists and turns on every journey, so a sense of adventure, bravery, flexibility, humour and a big picture perspective are her most vital tools. She never leaves familiar shores without them. Take the time to befriend your journey and allow your current perspective to expand into the horizon of possibilities. Be courageous as you follow your ambitions. As a poet once said, we cannot discover new oceans without being willing to lose sight of the shore. Now the Eight of Wands is about swiftness, isn't it? And again, we've got this higher perspective above the trees here. Isn't it interesting? It's an 8 as well. Yeah, just realise that. Anyway, the Eight of Wands streaks across the sky on a swift wind, certain, unstoppable. It is the breathless moment when the momentum takes hold, when spells begin to spark and the universe's drive aligns with your personal force. No more waiting, no more weighing. The path is clear and the energy is electric. This is a moment of updraft. When this card appears in your reading, it's a divine signal. Things are moving quickly. Messages arrive. Opportunities open. Obstacles vanish. What once felt stagnant now flows. Don't hesitate. Trust your instincts. Take the leap. The Eight of Wands is the rush of wind behind your wings, a synchronicity that affirms your direction. Let yourself be carried. Keywords: swift action, momentum, alignment, communication, progress, speed, breakthroughs, clarity. And it says, a witch releases her will into the world like a force of nature, trusting the universe to be the wind at her back. So a very identifiable Eight of Wands energy in the guidebook. So what do you think? Do you think these two align? Do they give the same message? This one's a lot darker in tone, isn't it? But yeah, both going on a journey for sure. Okay. Back. Right, let's look at the Divine Masculine alongside the King of Swords here. So yeah, it's all about finding the Divine Masculine within ourselves. I'll read you the guidebook entry. But that has also been misrepresented, and chances are, unless you're one of the very lucky few, you weren't raised with a living example of Divine Masculine embodied. Because the men in our culture are also bombarded with messages of what they should and shouldn't be. They are required to ditch their inner feminine in order to be perceived as being tough and powerful. They often contort themselves to meet the unrealistic demands of a toxic patriarchy, which means we weren't exposed to the healthy traits of masculinity. Balanced leadership, conscious protection and healthy assertiveness are in short supply. Well, the King of Swords would embody those, wouldn't they? Balanced leadership, conscious protection, healthy assertiveness would align really, wouldn't it, to the King of Swords? Anyway, as a result, the masculine voice inside our heads is often critical, harsh and domineering, so that would be the shadow side. Your femininity deserves an inner masculine presence who encourages, leads, challenges and downright worships your femininity, which knows that while she may not have been raised with a good example of this divine masculine, it is a job to discover a means of growing him within herself. She is willing to release the toxic thoughts and ideals inside her head that will diminish or try to control her. She is willing to embrace the fierce, wild God inside herself who can hold her feminine in his great protective arms. Now is the time to banish the drill sergeant of the psyche and formulate a new relationship to the encouraging male presence inside yourself. The King of Swords. A master of mind, justice, a ruler who commands with sharp intellect and unwavering integrity. He stands in the clearing of clarity. His sharpness poised not for battle but for truth, cutting through confusion and lies with decisive authority. This card carries the power of ethical leadership, especially as it engages with reason. Here, mental discipline is balanced with compassion. The king reminds us that true strength requires wisdom and the courage to speak what must be spoken. When this card appears, it declares, stand firm in your truth, lead with integrity and clear vision. Use your mind as your greatest tool. It signals authority, mental clarity, fairness, strategic thinking and responsibility. The King of Swords calls you to act with justice and wisdom, guiding your decisions with compassionate intellect. Keywords: authority, clarity, justice, intellect, leadership, truth, discipline. A witch wields her mind like a sword of authority, wise, just, unyielding. Then we have Empress of Pleasure and the Nine of Cups. I can see that they would align, their energies. So in this card, they're talking about sensual pleasure and gifting ourselves sensual pleasure. So the Nine of Cups is all about the same sort of thing, really, isn't it? So let's look at the guidebooks. Pleasure is your birthright. It's not something you have to earn or deserve, and it's your greatest compass. Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss as a means of directing you toward your soul's calling. When you experience pleasure, the kind that opens you up to radiance, you are moving towards your highest self, whether it's making art, relaxing in nature, picking out a new pair of shoes, eating a cookie. I just had that. Lavender scone. Anyway, or treating yourself to an orgasm. Pleasure expands your well-being, health and mental clarity. I don't know if that scone was very healthy, to be fair. Anyway, we've spent much of our lives learning from pain. What if pleasure became our next teacher? What if we put pleasure on the priority calendar and devoted a portion of our day or week to it in order to see what it can teach us of ourselves? A witch understands that when she is drenched in pleasure, she has more resources to share with others in her life. So schedule that spa day, treat yourself to the meditation retreat. Paint that wall purple, not because anyone else will understand or agree with your choice, but because the colour brings you pleasure, and that's enough of a reason. Don't wait on someone to share the pleasure with or any outside source to agree with you. This is your gift to give to yourself. Now is the time to pay special attention to whatever brings you joy and do more of that. The Nine of Cups. I like the way this is colour-coded, actually, so you can see which suits or wear. Anyway, go straight to them. The Nine of Cups is the radiant chalice of fulfilment. This is a glorious basking in the golden glow of wishes realised and desires met. It's the sacred moment when the heart's deepest longings ripple into tangible joy, a cup brimming with gratitude, contentment and pleasure. This card is the blessing of abundance, the sweet fruit of patience and intention fulfilled. When this card appears in your reading, it sings, celebrate your blessings, embrace the fullness of your journey. It signals emotional satisfaction, personal triumph, and the nourishment of the soul's deep bliss. The Nine of Cups invites you to savour the magic of the present and acknowledge the wealth you've cultivated within and around you. Keywords: fulfillment, satisfaction, abundance, gratitude, emotional contentment, joy, wishes realised. A witch drinks deeply from her cup of blessings with gratitude, the elixir of the soul. Yeah, they do align, very much so. And then finally we have She of the Invisible Ally and the Queen of Cups. Yes, that would, it does align, doesn't it, you know? The Queen of Cups energy and She of the Invisible Ally perfectly align. I just think it's a little bit of a shame they couldn't have done it a little bit different, but anyway. There are unseen forces guiding you right now. They rarely let themselves be seen, but that doesn't mean they're not there. While it's true that you often name and number your resources, you often forget about the unseen ones. The invisibles are available to you always, but they tend to dwell in the higher places, energies of wonder and awe, curiosity and hope. Petition them. A witch will reach into those energies and swim with them through the cosmos. This is a good time for dreaming and journeying. Take a walk in nature. Seek out a credible plant shaman who can help you access the gifts of the green world. Spend some time in the liminal realm with active imagination in the tradition of archetypal psychology, as initiated by Carl Jung. Put yourself in the way of magic. Helpful spirits are ready to guide you, and now is the time to summon them to show themselves. Isn't that a beautiful image? Oh, lovely. And then the Queen of Cups. Sovereign of the emotional seas, a soul deeply attuned to the tides of intuition and healing. She stands at the edge of the inner world, her heart open, her gaze steady, holding space for the mysteries that can take flight from the deep. This card embodies psychic wisdom and the nurturing power of the emotional depth. She is a compassionate healer who knows that gigantic strength can live beneath the soft surface. When this card appears in your reading, it hums. Trust your inner knowing. Care for yourself and others with gentle power. It signals emotional balance, empathy, and intuitive clarity. The Queen of Cups invites you to dive deep into your feelings without fear, to embrace vulnerability as a source of strength. Nurture the whale song in your soul's sacred waters as it takes to the sky. Keywords: empathy, intuition, nurturing, healing, emotional intelligence, compassion, psychic insight. A witch holds her heart wide open, a vessel of deep love and intuitive knowing. Let's have a message. I think what I'm going to do is shuffle both decks. I might do that off camera actually, so you don't have to watch me doing that. Have an overall energy for the reading from the Oracle deck, and then clarify it with the tarot. Okay, so I'm just going to pause while I do that. So looking at the two backs together, I didn't show the backs of these, although as I say, I have done a full walkthrough of this deck, so let's just give it one more shuffle. And we'll take a card, and the card is Keeper of Silence. So, pull out a bit. The Keeper of Silence is all about what it says on the card, really, is to not reveal your plans, not reveal what you're thinking about doing. I will read you the guidebook, explain it better than I can. A time for discretion. Whether you're working on a new project, idea, vision, or harbouring thoughts of creating a new relationship or business, discretion is called for. Just like an ember needs to be protected from the wind, coaxed carefully into a robust fire, so it is with your idea sparks. Be careful who you share with right now. Hold on to your enthusiasm, guard your treasure. Keep to the forests of contemplation as your intentions grow strong and vital. Stay close to the gentle light of the moon, which nourishes poets and dreamers. Should you not be fostering new fledgling life right now, the Keeper of Silence also serves as a guide for discernment. Sometimes we get so hungry for connection and approval, we overshare or give away our gifts to folks who are unworthy of our intimacy. This card is an invitation to step back and consider how you are sharing. A witch knows she is deeply worthy, and her heart, soul, mind, and precious life energy are to be shared only with those who can respect that treasure. Guard your worth. Okay, so I'm going to ask, well, what are we working on that needs to be incubated at the moment, not shared with other people, but kept close while we develop it and test it out? What could that be? Let's see. Okay, we have death. So we're thinking about letting go of something that we once held dear, really. It's something that we've been a little bit reticent to let go of. And so we're thinking it through before we make that decision. If this is the right thing to do we let go of the past life in order to encompass a new life, encompass a new way of being, putting to rest and letting go of what no longer serves us, what no longer is giving us nutrition, if you like. The nutrition has gone out of this card. It's being sucked out of us. All the energy of what we once held as important to us has shriveled, and it is no more. And as much as we want it, and we think we can rekindle it, we think we can reinvigorate it, that time has gone for it. And we need to think carefully, what is it that we want to go forward with now? What do we want to leave behind? Or what is calling us to leave behind that we've been unsure of whether to let go of? I mean, if we look at the tree here as well, there's no green leaves on it, is there? That time has passed, and we haven't acknowledged it yet, I don't think. We haven't put it to rest. So what advice would you give us in coming to terms with this loss and moving forward? What is secretly within our heart, within our soul, that we want to explore now as we leave behind what was? The Four of Swords. We're not yet ready, are we? Totally not yet ready. We've got here a rest card. We're at rest here. And sometimes when we're in this sort of mental energy, letting our mind just let go, like this death card, just letting that mind let go so that we can think clearer. And maybe this silence means we're unsure of whether what we're thinking is muddied. We're just a little bit unsure of things here, I think. And so we need time for it to percolate before we can actually bring whatever it is into fruition. It isn't time yet. These two cards, these two tarot cards are clearly telling me whatever we're thinking about, the time for it isn't yet, which is why we need to keep our silence about it. We need to keep it close to our chest and test it out really internally before moving forward and physically doing anything about it. Just keep it to yourself. The time will come, but the time isn't now. Anyway, I hope you gained something from that. And thank you for being here. Thank you so much for watching my little videos. And until the next one, bye-bye friends, bye.